The economic system has to create the conditions for growth and then create the context in which that growth is shared in a way that creates political stability. In the U.S., probably, looking at it statistically, there was probably more growth than, but a widening of the spectrum between the best off and the poorest sectors of society, and there was interest in redressing that, and then people argue about what the balance should be. I would say that is a very difficult problem in the U.S. because the political environment is a very poisonous political environment now, and you see this theater quite visibly. And it's made worse by the fact that it's a bitter moment, having just come through the trauma. And of course, it's not lost on me, for sure, that we've just come through. Not only did you have those conditions, but you have something where everybody was injured by the financial crisis, but it looked like, not because of any desire to help the more successful part and the ones who benefited most from the growth, they were the ones who inevitably helped by government policies, and the ones who didn't enjoy the ride and were hurt as much or more didn't get as much of the benefit. And so, what I'm referring to, the bailouts and the banks, and that's a very political issue as one would expect it to be, and very consequential, and a very big burden on the social fabric and the culture of the United States and around the world. And a lot of other places, they just fight over it and they don't actually cure the problem. So the U.S. has been more pragmatic about it and have gotten more done than they think. So taking that to the budget. So they're fighting over the budget, and there's a lot of hysterical about entitlements on the one hand, and versus solving the budget. But guess what? A lot of entitlements have been peeled back that hurt the Democrats, and they hate that. And taxes were raised, which the Republicans vowed would never happen. And they didn't get the $4.5 trillion of budget they want, but guess what? They got close to $3 trillion, and it's almost enough to make those lines start to converge again. And the sequestration was ugly and inefficient, and everybody's hating it, but guess what? It happened. And it seems really bad, but something? It's not the best way, and it's not always the smartest way to have cuts across the board. But I'll tell you, when we went into a recession, and I wasn't sure what to do at Goldman Sachs, I told everybody cut by 10%. And we'll come back and discuss how to sort it out later. And so it's not the best thing, but it was expedient. And so some of that budget convergence has happened. So I'm answering your question. It's not as bad as it looks, and a lot of the work that needed to be done, in fact, has been done. So, and more needs to be done, but a lot has been done.